You know that person who laughs at absolutely everything? The one who finds humor in situations that would send most people into a full spiral. Yeah, they've probably been through more than they'll ever casually admit. And I'm not talking about minor stuff. I'm talking about the kind of experiences that quietly rewire how you see the world, how you trust, and how you move through every single day. If that description just made something tighten in your chest, stay with me. Because what looks like effortless lightness on the outside is often a survival masterpiece built from real pain. Here's what nobody tells you about people who've endured too much. Their brain doesn't just cope, it adapts on a different frequency, trained by necessity, not broken, sharpened. They've learned that survival isn't a maybe, it's inevitable. So when life throws chaos at them now, their nervous system doesn't fully collapse. It's developed a kind of immunity to being completely demolished. Pause. Notice this. That quick laugh isn't denial. It's a tiny act of rebellion, taking power back from the things that once tried to break them. Dark humor becomes armor. Every joke says, "You don't get to own me anymore." Quick example. Someone cuts them off in traffic. Most people rage. This person is already 3 steps ahead, wondering if that driver is rushing to a hospital, going through a divorce, or just having the worst day. Because when you've survived your own storms, other people's rain feels manageable. Read that again. When you've survived your own storms, other people's rain feels manageable. This wiring creates something beautiful and brutal at the same time. These people often become aggressively empathetic. They spot pain from a mile away, a slight shift in tone, a forced smile, the texture of silence. They read emotional temperature in a room the way others notice the weather. Most people see furniture. They see unspoken stories. They've memorized the language of suffering because they had to. And here's where science backs it up. Psychologists like Richard Tedeschi talk about post-traumatic growth. After significant hardship, many people, roughly half to 2/3, don't just bounce back, they bounce forward. Relationships deepen. Priorities sharpen. Ordinary moments hit harder. A good sunset can actually bring tears, and they're not embarrassed by it. But there's a hidden side almost nobody talks about. The same experiences that built this depth also leave the threat detection system stuck on high alert. Hypervigilance doesn't switch off easily. That's why they need to sit facing the door at restaurants, why they have backup plans for simple things. It's not paranoia. It's a nervous system that learned safety is never fully guaranteed. Pause. Let this sink in. They downplay their own pain constantly. It wasn't that bad. Others have it worse. I'm fine, really. Admitting struggle feels like weakness because survival once depended on being the strong one. The irony hurts. They comfort everyone else, but struggle to receive the same grace. This shows up powerfully in relationships. They can be incredibly loyal, showing up at 3 a.m. without hesitation. Yet when it's time to be vulnerable about their own needs, suddenly they pull back. Closeness once came with unpredictable costs, so their nervous system still braces. They crave connection, but fear depending on anyone. The result? They learn to need nobody, which sounds strong until the loneliness sets in. Quick example. They'll listen to your heartbreak for hours and offer the perfect words, but ask them how they're really doing? The conversation suddenly needs to end. This creates walking paradoxes. Tough but tender, guarded but generous, hopeful but realistic. They hold 2 truths at once. Life can be brutal and beautiful in the same breath, and beneath the humor and the strength, there's often a quiet grief, not just for what happened, but for the version of themselves that got lost along the way. The lighter one, the one who trusted easily, the one who didn't rehearse every conversation or scan every room for danger. They miss a softness they barely remember. How do you explain you're homesick for a version of yourself you barely got to live? That grief doesn't break them. It refines them. It makes them quieter, more observant, more intentional. They cherish safe people because unsafe ones taught them the cost. They protect their peace because they know exactly how expensive chaos is.